So we're going over this. Our initial ratio, as Matthew said, is 72 to 6. What does unit rate mean? Unit rate, Miles.
It means the number on the right has to be a 1.
Exactly. It's not always the number on the right, but it's typically the number on the right. Unit means 1. So, in this case, do we want to find out 1 ounce is equal to how many steaks? That's going to be like point something. We want to find out how much each steak weighs. We want to get that. So, the way that we do it is simply dividing. You guys are in 6th grade. You should know how to divide. How do we get from 6 to 1? How do we get from 6 to 1? I want to see Fernando. Divide by 6. So we're going to do the same to the other side. Who knows 72 divided by 6? Nathan? 12. So how much does each steak weigh? So our ratio is going to be 12 to 1 or 12 over 1. 12 to 1 or 12 over 1. A lot of you guys were writing the ratio as 1 over 12 or 1 over whatever. No. We always have to keep the ratio in the same order as it was stated. If you write 1 over 12, that's saying that there's 1 ounce in 12 steaks. And I don't know about you, but I don't want those 12 steaks if it's only a total of 1 ounce. Sounds terrible. So, let's look at the second one. 162 water bottles in 9 cases. So our initial ratio is always just what it says. 162 to 9. That's also written as 162 over 9. So, we want to find out how many water bottles are in 1 case, which makes sense. Do we want to find out how many cases 1 water bottle's in? 1 water bottle is going to be in point something something cases. It doesn't make sense. So we divide this by 9. If you like the fraction way, we're trying to get it to something over 1. Essentially, I'm writing it in terms of x because I'm trying to introduce you guys to variables. I'm going to divide 162 also by 9. Also by 9. Here's a trick that I use that may or may not help some of you. I think about 162, and I think about easy terms I can divide 9 by. An easy term I can divide 9 by is going to be 99. That is 11, right? What's 162 minus 99? 162 minus 99. Rocco. 63, exactly. 63, and it's pretty easy. I picked 99 on purpose because all we needed to do was add 1 to get to 100, and then add 62 to get to 162. What is 63 divided by 9, you guys? What's 63 divided by 9? Tyson? 7. And then we do the same thing here. 11 plus 7 is 18. So a really quick way to do that, we find out that it's 18 to 1. Huh? It works on many problems, but that's why we teach it in certain ways. And I'm the one that's teaching this, like it doesn't matter. So we would write it as 18 to 1 or 18 over 1. Yes, Rocco. You can just divide them in the first place. But in this place, we would need to do it like this. We would do 1, then we would do 1 here. It would be, well, yeah. But I'm saying mental math. This is 9. We divide it, we get 7. D2. We get 8. So, but I'm trying to teach ways that you guys can also do mental math. This, if you don't like the mental math way, don't do it. But I know some students are capable of it. Some students will like it more. But if you don't like mental math, don't do mental math. If you don't like mental math, don't do mental math. So, this one a lot of you guys had trouble with too. Marcella divided 40.8 gallons of paint among 8 containers. They're even telling you what they're doing. So, she has 40.8 to 8. We can still do ratios with decimals. We can still do ratios with fractions. Same thing. We want to get down how much paint is in each container. 8 containers, each container. This side is the container side. So we're trying to go from 8 to 1. Again, That's dividing by 8. This is dividing by 8. Here's another easy way to do it. What's 0.8 divided by 8? What's 0.8 divided by 8, Nathan?
1.
Yeah, it's 0.1. It's 0.1. What's 40 divided by 8, Matthew? 5. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at how easy that was. Our answer is there's 5.1 gallons of paint in each container. Super easy. We would write that how? How would we write that? What's this important part that we need to remember? We would write that as 5.1 to 1 or 5.1 over 1. That's the important part. It's not 1 over 5.1. And Ben has a great question. Yes. Can't you just write 5.1 gallons? Technically, yes, because it's asking us in each container. You can write 5.1 gallons, which is why 5.1 over 1 makes sense. If you wrote 1 over 5.1, you're saying there's 1 gallon in 5.1 containers. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. That's also not a unit rate. Unit rate means 1 on the bottom. 1 on the bottom. So, let's look at another one. Here, Central Sub made 27 sandwiches using 12 pounds of turkey. How much turkey was used per sandwich? So now here's a different way. We've got 27 to 12. But which one do we put the 1 under? Which one do we put the 1 under, Lily? The 12? Does anybody else have a different idea? Tyson? I mean, that's the only other idea there is, so yes. Now, why did we put it under the 27? Who can tell me why we put it under the 27, Miles?
Because 12 cans go into 27.
That's not why. Why do we put the 1 under 27? Hannah?
Because it asks how much turkey was used.
Exactly. It says how much turkey was used per sandwich. Per sandwich. We have 27 sandwiches. Per sandwich means 1 sandwich. So, that's what we're going to do here. We get 27. This one's probably easier to write as a fraction. How do we get from 27 to 1? Everybody should know this. 27 to 1, Romario. Divide by 27. To get to 1, you always just divide by itself. We're going to do the same to the other side. So, I'm going to show it over here so we have room. We get 12 over 27. I don't want to get some long-winded decimal answer. Let's just keep it as a fraction. Let's think about this. We've got 12 over 27. What's the GCF of these two numbers? What's the GCF? We can write out all of our factors, but what is it, Ben? It's 3. Exactly. We think about it. We think about the factors of 12. This is the easiest way to do it. Think about the factors of the smaller one. 12's factors are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Then we think, what can 27 be divided by? Can 27 be divided by 12? No. Can it be divided by 6? Can it be divided by 4? Can it be divided by 3? Yeah. So we know it's going to be 3. We don't even have to necessarily compare both. So, what's 12 divided by 3? Number of fingers. Number of fingers. 12 divided by 3. We already know this. It's 4. What's 27 divided by 3? You guys, number of fingers? It's 9. So our answer is as simple as, I'm erasing all of this, so I hope that you guys saw it. And where is it going to be? If you guys didn't see it right now, where is this going to be posted?
YouTube.
My YouTube. So we get 4 over 9. Now, 4 over 9, that looks weird. 4 over 9, that looks weird. It doesn't have a 1 on the bottom, but it technically does. It's technically 4 over 9 over 1, but when something's over 1, we just get rid of that 1. So there's 4/9 of a pound of turkey per sandwich. Does that make sense? 4/9 of a pound of turkey per sandwich. So we can keep it as that, 4/9 a pound of turkey per sandwich. And does that make sense? to have less than 1 pound of turkey per sandwich? Let's read the question. 27 sandwiches used 12 pounds. So we already had more sandwiches than pounds. So in the end, if we have 1 sandwich, we should have less than 1 pound. Exactly. That's how we think our answer makes sense. Exactly. In some questions, we have to compare. So we've got some people. We got Cutright, we got Evans, and we got Loza. They all drove a different amount of laps, and they did a different amount of times. Yes, Matthew? Never mind? Okay. So, who drove the fastest? What are we going to try to measure it on? Are we going to get our time down to 1 minute and see how many laps they drove? Or are we going to get our laps down to 1 and see how long they took? Laps down to 1, because we're seeing who drove the fastest, which is time. We're seeing the fastest, which is time. So we're going to go to laps down to 1. So it's going to be, the first one is 35 to 84. 35 was our laps, so we want to get it down to 1. So we're going to do the same to 84, and we're going to divide it by that 35. So we're going to have 84 divided by 35. This is pretty simple, you guys. What are the only factors of 35? 35's factors are 1 and 35, and what else? What is Madison? 5 and 7. That's it. Those are their only factors. And once again, we can be sure it's their only factors because the only number between the bottom 2 factors is 6. Is 35 divisible by 6? No. So, 5 and 7. Hey guys, 84. 84. Is that divisible by 5? Is 84 divisible by 5? No, because it doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. So what's the only number it possibly can be divided by if we try to simplify? Madison? 7, exactly, my guys. So let's see. Let's see if it works. 7 goes into 8 1 time. That's 7. We bring down it's a 1 when we do subtraction. Bring down our 4. How many times does 7 go into 14? See our fingers? 2. Excellent. So we're going to get this to 12 over, and what's 35 divided by 7? Number of fingers, 5. So, what we know here is Cutright went 1 lap, and it took Cutright 12 over 5. Took him 12 over 5 minutes. Sounds like a weird amount, but it makes sense. It's a little bit over 2 minutes. It's about 2.4 minutes. Not about, it is 2.4 minutes, but it doesn't matter. He took 12 over 5. We would do the same for each of the other ones. So we would do the same for each of the other ones. Evans was 42 to 96.6. Loza was 38 to 102.6. So we just do the same math for all of them and find out what our answer is. I don't want to waste time on this one. I want to go to a different problem and see. So, Theo's mom bought an 8-pack of juice boxes at the store for $4. Find the unit rate for the juice boxes. So, she bought an 8-pack of juice boxes for $4. We want to find a unit rate for the juice boxes. So not for the money sold, a unit rate for the juice boxes. So we want to get the 8-pack of juice boxes down to 1. So we divide it by 8. So we're going to do the same thing here. We divide it by 8. 4 over 8. What does 4 over 8 simplify to? What does 4 over 8 simplify to? Who can tell me? Romario? 1/2. 1/2. How much did each juice box cost, you guys? How much did each juice box cost? Malia. What? Each juice box cost. How much did each juice box cost? If 8 juice boxes cost $4, how much does each juice box cost, Hannah?
Each juice box costs $50.
Yeah, it cost $50 or 50 cents. Exactly, you guys. So, Joshua's cousin pledged $12 for a charity walk. If Joshua walked 3 miles, how much did his cousin pay? So he paid $12. Joshua walked 3 miles. How much did he pay per mile? The 3 is the mile, so we want the 1 underneath. Guys, this division's so easy. We divide by 3. What's 12 divided by 3? 4. So he paid $4 a mile. That's a total steal, you guys. I don't know about you. Total steal. Joshua did not have to pay that much. $4 a mile? You guys run miles every day. Okay, if you guys struggled with number 9, here's how it worked. Here's how it worked. It asked how many miles it goes in 1 hour. You essentially divide 2,144 divided by 8. 2,144. So 2,144 divided by 8 is equal to 268. We're not really doing it. You guys can do it on your own time. So that's how many miles it goes in 1 hour.
I need help on number 8.
The distance between Columbus, Ohio and New York City is about 560 miles. How many hours would it take the train to travel between the 2 cities? How many hours would it take the train to travel between the 2 cities? What do you think the guy... This is just asking. It's an about question. It's an about. 268 to 560. If you were going to estimate that, how much multiplication is that? What would you multiply it by? If you're just estimating. What is it, Anita? Around 2 hours. The answer is literally 2 hours. Because 268 is almost 270. 268 is almost 270. 270 times 2. 270 times 2. What's 200 times 2? What's 200 times 2, Rocco? 400. What's 70 times 2? What's 70 times 2, Rafi? 140. That's going to be 540. Hey, the distance is about 560, so it's going to be about 2 hours. Yes, Tyson? China. Anyway, I said you could use a calculator on this. If you didn't, that's fine. All we needed to do, find the population density of each state. If you're finding the population density, that means we want to get our area down to 1. If we get our area down to 1, we're just dividing this by that, by that, by that, by that, by that. So that's literally all we do when we're trying to find the population density. Now, if we solve that, we would find out that California had about 223 people per square mile. Florida had 278.3, which stinks because it's Florida. Iowa, not as a surprise to me, had 53.1 people per square mile. New Jersey, also not a surprise to me, had 996.3 people per square mile. And Wyoming, the least surprise of all, had 5.3 people per square mile. As a side note, this is why the Electoral College is unfair. Anyway,
Okay.
now we found the population density for each state. We found the population density. So, we have to graph it. Now, Wyoming had like 5. So it's going to be like, I'm going to show you. It's literally going to be like that. That's actually too much. It's going to be like that. Like, it's going to be a nothingness. Now, New Jersey, as we saw, had 996. The top of this graph is 1,000. New Jersey's going to be like that. Iowa has 53. This is, the middle line is 100, so we're only going to go up to the middle, but before that middle line. Florida has 278, so we're going to go to about there, And California has 223. So we're going to go to about there. That's really what your graphs are supposed to look like. Remember, we're just kind of eyeballing it here. It doesn't have to be exact, but you're trying to see the difference. Like, look at how big New Jersey is compared to all of the rest of them. And then the answer here says Connecticut has about the same population as Iowa, but its area is 4,875 square miles. Without calculating, compare its population to the density of Iowa. So let's think about it. Iowa has this amount of population, and it's this amount of area. That's 56,000. Connecticut is 4,875. Which one has more area? Connecticut or Iowa? Which one has more area, Fernando? Iowa. So if it has more area, then there's going to be less people per square mile. So Connecticut is going to have more people per square mile because it's got smaller square miles, right? So now we're going to look at some example problems that I pulled from the web. So I know you guys can't see it, but I'm going to read it to you. Now, a jar contains, so I want you guys to write these in your books and stuff so that we can have some practice. So, here's what we know. A jar contains 35 marbles. So we've got 35 marbles. What we know about these is that 17 are blue, 17 are red, and the rest are green. How many are green then, guys? If 17 are red, 17 are blue, how many are green? Anita?
1.
Yeah, 1. Because all you had to do was the math. 17 plus 17 is 34. We have 35 marbles, so it's 1. What's the ratio of blue marbles to red marbles to green marbles? We literally just get 17 to 17 to 1. We can write triple ratios. Yeah, you can. Totally works. We won't be doing that in our class that much, but we totally can. Ready? So, here's this one. Caitlin drew 11 hearts, and she drew 23 circles. What's the ratio of hearts to circles? Guys, this is super easy. Hearts to circles. Who can raise their hand and tell me? Rocco. 11 to 23. Can we simplify that at all? No. 11's only factors are 1 and 11. It's prime. 23 is not divisible by 11. That's it. That's its simplified form. Let's look at some of these ones. A herd of 52 horses. So a herd has 52 horses. It has 12 white and some black, an X amount of black. Hey guys, how many of them are black horses?
Some.
Well, let's solve for it. Who can raise their hand and tell me? Trey. 40. How'd you find 40, Trey? You just did subtraction. Come on, you guys. Just subtraction. Super easy. What's the ratio of white to black? White to black. White to black. Would I write that as 12 to 40 or 40 to 12? Which one's correct? Miles. 12 to 40 because it asks us white, which is 12, and black, which is 40. But is that our end answer? No. We have to simplify. Let's think. They're both even, so we know they're divisible by 2. But are they divisible by anything bigger? What are they divisible by, Anita? 4. We know these factors. 12 divided by 4 is number of fingers? 3. 40 divided by 4 is 10. That's our answer. Or we could write 3 over 10. Excellent work. Excellent work. So, here is a harder one. And I know you guys struggled with reading these ones and it made me sad, but it's okay. So, Noah drew 22 hearts and 76 circles. That looks like a 76 circles. What is the ratio of circles to all shapes? Circles to all shapes. So how many circles did he draw first? Jenna? 76, 2. And how many all shapes is there, Ben? 98. A lot of you guys would mess up and write 22. That's not correct. We care about all shapes. Now, we want to simplify. A lot of times in this, we find the greatest common factor in order to make our lives easier. We have 76 and we have 98. But a lot of times also, I'm kind of lazy. So we don't always have to find the greatest common factor. It just saves us time, but they're both even. Let's divide them by 2. What's 70 divided by 2? What's 70 divided by 2, Matthew? 35. And what's 6 divided by 2? What's 6 divided by 2, Romario? 3. So 76 divided by 2 is going to be 38. 98 divided by 2. Who can do that one? 98 divided by 2. Tyson?
Is 49.
49, exactly, because he did, I'm assuming that you did, 90 divided by 2 plus 8 divided by 2. I love this mental math trick. I really do. I use it all the time. Hey, are those even numbers, both of them? No, so we can't really divide it. 49's factors. What are 49's factors? What are 49's factors? We can think about it. We got 1 and 49, and what else do we got? What else? Score. 7 and 7. Is 38 divisible by 7? No. So that's it. That's it, you guys. Super easy. We didn't even have to think about stuff much further than that. Exactly. We always want to simplify our fractions. When I give you guys a chapter test, if you don't simplify your fractions, half credit if you got it right at all. Now, in your notebooks, I want you guys to do this problem. A group of preschoolers has 63 boys and 27 girls. What is the ratio of boys to all children? Boys to all children. So I want you guys to do this in your book first. So it says, what's the ratio of boys to all the children? How many boys are there, you guys?
63.
We raise our hands. How many boys? Tyson.
Oh, I have the answer.
Oh, Romario, how many boys? 63. How many are all of the children? How many are all of the children, Hannah? 90. Exactly. Because we get up 3 plus 7, we get up to 70 on that 60, and then we add that 20. 63 to 90. Can anybody see the GCF already? Tyson? No. What's the GCF already? Anita? 9. The GCF is 9. What is 90 divided by 9? What is that? Emerson? 10. What is 63 divided by 9, Romario? 7. So we get our answer to be 7/10. Great job today.